Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of Inwards. If this is the first episode you are watching, my name is Eliza Mozal. I am an energy healer, spiritual mentor, that's an instant, and in Inwards series over here on YouTube, I have been called to create this special sacred energy in which we are going deep inwards, but we also have a full on fun with being a spiritual and human being on this planet right now. The energies can be really crazy. Our own patterns and old older beliefs and energies are coming up to the surface more and more and more. And there was a time on my journey when I was pushing and forcing through it all. And then it came this time of my journey to have fun with it. And in the same time, bring a profound value into this world through my own experience. So, my biggest passion is to help other people heal their energy, come back to their alignment with their divinity. That has nothing to do with being perfect or shiny and all of that stuff. It's actually all about embodying and embracing the wholeness of this journey, the pretty, the ugly, and all of it in between. So, welcome in this episode 12. And this one is going to be a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more personal share from what has been happening in this last week. And many of you are watching this for the first time ever at all. So please say hello in the comments section. Many of you have been following me for a while and know my story more or less. And I wanted to share with you what I have done 7 days ago. So, 7 days ago, Friday, I felt called to do a deep breath work session, like an hour and a half, where I am lying down and I'm breathing in very deeply. And I did it with like a guidance from the recording of one of the courses I have treated myself with a few months ago. So my beloved Andrea was out and about, and I just allowed myself to do it. And I allowed myself to scream and shout and express that energy that I was moving on within me and bringing even more into the surface. And during, if you did ever the breathwork session like that at all, please let me know in comment section. Please let me know. I need to know if you guys are doing deep breathwork practice. And I'm not talking just about 10-15 minute sessions, which are phenomenal and in my life, and I must be on a daily basis, meaning this is something I love to do because I love how it makes me feel. So it is a part of my daily morning routine. But I love to know if any of you went to a deep breathwork sessions ever at all. Okay. Most of us, if we never started, we are really scared of it. I was scared and terrified. If I'm going to be shaking, screaming, and I'm going to go unconscious, what then I'm going to do? None of that happened. Okay. So, and during that phenomenal and profound session, where on the recording they were screams and cries of many other people during that event. And so, of course, that was just only encouraging for me to release in a way whatever needed to be released. And the sound that we express is actually a most basic and profound a form of sound healing. So sound healing isn't just instruments, it isn't just in a classroom, it isn't just in a yoga place. It is actually us expressing. That's a sound healing also, when we are signaling to our own system, nervous system, that it is safe for us to relax. So during that session, I received quite few profound downloads. And one of them was, Eliza, it is time for you to again do a marathon and do a 7 days in a row of breath work, at least 1 hour every day. And I prefer the mornings. I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, I want to do it. But I knew there is also, I'm very aware of that other side of me, that other part of me that is going to keep on telling me why not. And before I started doing here what I'm doing, providing the value for the world and enriching my own journey and myself on this journey, that voice would be always the loudest. That voice would always win. And I mean always. Okay. So that voice was also there. So I messaged actually my own team, Emma team, Energy Mastery Empire team, and told them, guys, who's going to hold me accountable? Because I am going to do this 7-day challenge for myself. And of course, people put their hand up. Yep. And every day I've been posting, day 2 done, day 7 done. And of course, the second day, the next day morning, I did the breath work. I think it was the day three or day 2. It doesn't matter. That voice came in really strongly. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's okay. Just do it another time. That breath work you're using is blah. Just absolute rubbish. And I allowed myself to feel it. I allowed myself to just be with it. Okay, walk around with it. And then I just did it anyhow, right? And I just did my 7 days. Now, I want to share with you the energetics and inwards of this whole experiment. So what I actually done over there is that I dove into the unknown because I didn't knew what this 7 day of deep, intensive, over an hour breath work is gonna bring me every day. And it brought up out of me deeper layers of frustration, deeper layers of old patterns that I thought I dealt with. And here they are right in the front of me. It brought out of me a lot of stuff, but in the same time, it brought out of me because I was not running away from what I was facing. I was mastering my energy in a now moment every day with those heightened energies, just like I teach in Emma. I faced also extremely profound levels of clarity, like a clarity, like I kid you not, man, it's 11:30 right now. And I did the things I would normally do, maybe finish at 5 or 6 p.m. at evening in my daily normal week during the weekday. The clarity, the downloads, which message to share, how to share it, what is the most important message to share today, what do I need to focus on, what needs to be placed on the side, who I don't need to no longer reply to, how can I be more open to receiving love, loving myself, and sharing that frequency, and many other things. The clarity is just absolutely phenomenal. And not only that, I want to share with you 2 more things. One of these breathworks I did, all of a sudden, I am open doing that breath work. Day 3, I am receiving an email from one of the subscriptions I signed up. And it is the breath work with someone that I never had before. And I'm like, just everything inside of me is just pure, clear, and open. Yes, that's it. No resistance, no overthinking, no checking, nothing. All I needed to know is that I think it was about 12 or 1. So I had to just adjust my schedule, which it is easy for me because I am doing my passion work on my own terms. I no longer work for someone else, and I can adjust these things with an uttermost ease and flow. And that's what makes me feel so free in this frequency. That's what I desired for so long. And in the last year and a half, 2 years, I have created and manifested that, which all the years before, it looked like impossible that it's ever going to happen for this person. So if you felt like that ever at all right now, let me know in the comment section. Because trust me, every one of us is feeling like that until it is done, until it is here, until it is like, hallelujah, I'm one of these people who did it right now. Like, how amazing is that? And the truth is that majority of people is not doing that, is living in their comfort zone that sooner or later turns into a killer zone, and they do not come out of their comfort zone. They do not go into the unknown. They do not follow their desires no matter what. They listen to that other voice. That's what I did 90% of my life. And just recently, in the last few years, I started changing that. But in order to do so, I had to surround myself with people who are doing that also. I couldn't do that just by being surrounded with people who don't do it. That my energy was being, going down really quickly. So there it is. I am open for that breath work. Okay, let's do it. It is maybe not even an hour, not even an hour. First half an hour was introduction, somatic breath work. Then in the first maybe 20 minutes, I'm going through entirely new experience. Entirely new, different breathwork experience. I don't know where it's gonna take me. It's a full unknown. I've got to surrender. All of a sudden, I know I have to move from the couch to the bed. I'm shaking. I'm releasing. I am moving the way my mind tells me I should not move my body. And I am rolling and I am twisting and I am releasing more and more and more in those weird ways, which actually are the ways that they were for me there in place in order to release that old, trapped, repressed, suppressed, and depressed different energies. Some of them I knew where they're from, others I had no idea. It was just phenomenal experience of transformation. And as soon as I was doing that, I knew it. I've got to be around these people. I've got to be around these people, because few weeks ago I was asking, what is it there for me? I feel like I'm called to, because I'm growing and expanding so fast, it doesn't feel that much in alignment to keep on repeating the same for me. If it is about the stuff that I am involved in, it just feels like an opening for the new. It feels like whatever it is there on some levels, it is feeling like it doesn't move anywhere. It no longer grows and expands. It stays the same or shrinks a little bit. So that's like a calling for me. Okay, I think we are here opening a new door of opportunity. So in order to do so, I've got to surrender the known. I've got to surrender trying to control it. I've got to surrender trying to figure out how is it going to happen, be, or show up. And I need to just simply be here and now. How can I do it? Okay, let's do it 7 days of breath work. And there it is, this breath work on Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, day 4. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to be all around it. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care. All I know is that they're doing something and I have cheap option to join and see them twice a month, and I have much more expensive option to join them and see them for 12 weeks every single week. All I knew, my whole body's intelligence, which is so huge that our mind cannot comprehend it. How high is that frequency? Screams and shouts with its being and aliveness, yes, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And I just allowed myself over the next 2 days be in a worthiness and receivership frequency. That's it. This is it. This is what I am doing. The mind kicks in with old way of thinking. Why not? And the number one objection that the mind is going to always throw on our way is the money objection. Always. Always. Whether it doesn't matter if we have money or not, because this is actually only a perception. This is only perception. I'm gonna talk about it at some point in an episode about money and abundance, because it's gonna be so good. Let me know if you wanna hear that. And yeah, all I just needed to do is just to be in that frequency and allow whatever was still in my body, just allow it to flow. And of course, on Wednesday, what am I doing? Tick, 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 ding, signed up. And then I decided, okay, the next day I'm gonna do this breath work, the repeat of the Monday breath work again. And then I felt like my mind tells me, I don't know if it's healthy to actually do it. I don't know if you should do it. I wonder what they would say. And then I'm listening to my heart, and my heart is like, Eliza, it's your body's intelligence. Who cares if someone was gonna tell you you can or you cannot? Your body is craving it. Your body is calling for it. You mastered your energy so well that you can handle this. You can handle doing it every day. Would I suggest to do that for someone entirely new every day? Probably not. Probably not. But I felt the calling, so okay, I'm in. So then I did the next day and I allowed myself to release more. And then I did it this morning, Friday, which is day 8 of doing these breath works in every day over an hour in a row. I did this specific somatic release breath work again. And I've had a profound vision. That's the puppies going crazy for the post lady. Oh, wow. Woof, woof. They're so funny. And I had a profound vision. And this is the vulnerable part that yeah, so I had a vision. I had a profound vision in that. If many of you knows, my relationship with my mom at the moment is non-existent in a 3D reality. It finished just over the communication, any type of communication finished just over a year ago. And I'm just not the person that I am expected to be, and especially with my personal relationship choices. So, and I know that's not the root. I know that's not the real cause and problem. I know exactly what is it. And I had a vision when I stood in the front of my mom on a soul level, but she was still in this body, quite unwell. I stood in the front of her and her soul spoke through her, and my soul, my being, spoke through me. I stood in the front of her and I said, Mom, look at me. I am healed from everything we agreed you will pass on to me. I am healed from everything we agreed you will pass on to me. Look, it is gone. Even my spine is so straight. Like, look how I'm radiating. And my mom is like, wow, yeah, wow. And then I stood there in this energy. I embraced the whole vision because it was, Lord, I'm gonna cry, because it was so profound. It was so deeply felt from the every center of me. And I could feel in myself there is something left. There's something still to be done here. And it was, I stood there and through that soul heart language, my soul, me, that part of me that takes care of that little me, stood in front of my mom, like, and through that soul language said, but there is still here for me. It is, you have something that it is mine, that it was designed to be for me. You received something in this life that it was designed to share with me and give it to me, and you never did that. And that was this motherly, nurturing, loving energy that goes through child's every single fiber of their being, that soothing, loving, safety, beautiful, unconditional love, frequency, nurturing, care, compassion, kindness. And I stood there without any words. I closed my eyes and I took it. What's mine? Now, when I felt that energy going through was my upper female parts, because this is where you would feel them if you would be the mother yourself. So it was just so profound on such a deep level to be able to go through that kind of session and finalize and heal entirely the mother wound, finalize that relationship that I cannot make it different in a 3D reality that it is right now, but I can make it right here, everything to the T. We are complete. And I wanted to share that with you because many of you is believing, convinced entirely that some things cannot be done. And we came here into this existence in this special time on planet Earth to manifest the magnificence, to manifest the magnificent, to manifest and express out the magnificence that it is within every single one of us. and manifest the magnificence in my own mom coming out of her towards me, her joy towards me, even if through this 3D facade and ego and pride and her own heart, her own pain, she's unable maybe to express it or stay in it. So I wanted to share that vulnerable part of my own journey because those are the results of diving into the unknown. How do I choose what is the unknown I'm diving in? My all focus goes into my heart and surrendering, trying to control it and think my way through it or figure out. If I hear someone constantly saying, I think I this, I think this, I think this, internally I cringe, not because there is something wrong with them. I cringe because I remember myself being this way and thinking my way to my rock bottom. And thank God it happened because I wouldn't be here and now without it 7.5 years ago. But if you desire to have a profound lasting change, and guys, we have just over 3 months left of this year. If you desire to make the rest of this year and this year profound, start tuning in with your heart. Sign out, sign in. And if it's gonna take to do that every breath, every second, it's still worth it. Listen to what is it that you wanna do? What is it there for you? And just open your eyes, ears, and heart. Because the answer, solution, the path, the guidance, the community is in the front of you. It is in the front of you. I promise you. I promise you, it is in the front of you. It isn't about going and finding solution. The solution is already here and now. It is only about releasing that which prevents us from hearing, seeing, and feeling it. Ta 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 ta. And our limitations and belief repeating same old stories. I cannot do it. I can't afford it. I'm not good enough. It's never gonna happen for me. There is no one out there. Stuff like that. And I've been there myself. That's why I have such a deep understanding of that limiting mind, because in order for me to be where I am and keep growing and expanding from it, which is magnificent transformation that I need to share here with you on inwards throughout the last few years. Because where I'm coming from is not what you see, not what you hear. I am an entirely different person because I chose to go deeper with community, expand on my beautiful energy. So if you feel like there's something in your life you want and desire, I would definitely and highly suggest for you to tune into silence of your heart. Look at those limiting thoughts that they are holding you back from just simply taking step forward or taking 15 steps forward. And it's always gonna feel scary. Always. Anything you do is outside of comfort zone or entirely unknown. It's always gonna be scary. You cannot wait for not feeling the fear. That's the comfort zone, which sooner or later turns into a killer zone. Example of a comfort zone from Eliza from the past, let's say one of the years. Go to work, be okay and kind of, okay, do the work, 9 to 5, come back, eat cheap potato chips, call friends, moan at someone, what they did at the weekend, or how embarrassed I felt, or this or that, make someone, less than me so I can feel better about myself, watch TV, go to bed, get fat, and do it all over again the next day. Comes the weekend, a little bit. This is the mentality. That's the comfort zone. It was comfortable because it was familiar, but it was a killer zone. Within 10, 20, or 30 years, I would develop serious bodily diseases. And before that, I would develop a serious mental disease that it would be going deeper and deeper and deeper. Just a year later, a few years later, I was deeply in an extremely self-destructive patterns. Deeply, deeply. I couldn't stop damaging myself. It was unbelievable. And I had to ask for help. But before I could ask for help, I had to take that pride and ego, and why not, out of the picture, out of the steering wheel. And it was scary, it was terrifying, but the best thing I ever did. Like even right now with that breath work, of course there is a fear there. Of course there is some thoughts of fear that wants to come. That doesn't mean I am the fear. I understand now. That's the difference between now and then. I understand I am not the fear thought. The thought for comes and goes, or it wakes up and goes asleep. If it is trapped in my field, wakes up and goes asleep, and ta 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 ta, or it's just entirely asleep. Okay, or can be, can be transmuted also. But I'm not that thought. I'm not that necklace. I'm not that top. I'm not that skin. I am so much more. So if I am not that fearful thought, why would I be scared to look at it? We only don't look at our stuff because we are scared that this is all that we are. And I promise you, you are not. But you cannot know that by me just saying that to you. You need to do your own work, meaning dive deep into the breathwork and meditation and find out for yourself and allow your beautiful heart to lead you forth. Just allow your heart to tell you what will be nice and lovely and act on it. Act on it. Go and do it. And feel, 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 feel. Not think, 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 think. When you would be able to master your energy, then your mind will no longer be operating from old, conditioned, wounded way of embedded patterns. It would be a tool you will be using on your own call. You will be the master using that tool, calculating something, making a plan for the trip, not curling up in a bed because you cannot turn off your negative thoughts the way I had most of my life. So this is the difference between mastering the energy and being a slave to the old low frequency energies that they are not even ours. We just carry them on our shoulders and we don't know how to simply master our energy, cleanse our energy, find out who we truly are. But that comes with investment into yourself. Okay, lovelies, I'm going to finish this episode with that. May it serve you best. May this profound message of fundamental healing take you, just ring the bell in your heart and ask you a question: how free do you want to be? Okay, we have started week and a half ago, we have started Energy Mastery Empire Mastermind. And today, in 5 hours, I am closing the doors, meaning you cannot enter our live events. We are finishing in the middle of December, just before the middle of December. And this is the last call I have for you to join us on this magnificent journey. So you can learn how to master your energy. So you no longer are your own enemy. So you no longer are standing on the way of your own desires, your own divinity. So you no longer are put down because of the strong winds, aka lower energies, strong energies from outside of you, someone else, or inside of you, or economy. So you can create your internal empire, unshakable empire of the frame, your soul expression, who you came here to be, by tapping into that beautiful magnificence that it is within you, and it cannot wait to wake up and express itself with you, through you, for you, by you, and all that beautiful juice. Okay, if you want to join us, be sure to click the link I'm going to attach in the description box. If you wish, send me a private message on Facebook, Eliza Mozal, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if your soul is craving this beautiful transformational experience before the year is going to end, so you can step into another year with a whole new set of tools in your spiritual tool belt, in your human tool belt. I look forward to hear from you and see you tomorrow on our mastermind workshop. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on another Inwards episode.